Welcome to the Maryland Mortgage Rate Weekly Mortgage Market Update for the week of June 2nd, 2014. Hello, I'm John Thomas with Primary Residential Mortgage, here to give you an update. Well, last week was certainly a good week for Maryland mortgage rates. They did move lower again. And they're actually at a 7-month low. Take a look at the bond chart on the screen. You can see we've had a nice run up of green candles, and we hit a 7-month high for the bond on Thursday. Now, we did sell off and pull back with the red candle there, but Friday we were able to hammer out a bottom, and we have a technical signal called a rising window, which is a good sign for mortgage bonds. So we're going to recommend floating your Maryland mortgage rate to start the week. Now, if you're closing the next 1 to 3 weeks, go ahead and lock your rate. Take advantage of these 7-month low for rates. But if not, if you're closing 30 to 60 days or longer, go ahead and float your rate. We got a good sign from the technicals on Friday, so we'll see if we can move higher from there on the bond, lowering rates. Now, in economic news, we saw the reading on the gross domestic product, the GDP, for the first quarter 2014 came out worse than expected at negative 1% GDP. That is very bad, folks. That's the first time it's been negative since the first quarter of 2011. So we need the GDP to be somewhere between 2.5% and 3% to get this economy rolling. So we have to watch that. This is down from 2.6% registered in the final quarter of 2013. It was below expectations of negative 0.5. So this week's reading was due in part to a decline in private inventory investments, exports, home and office, plant construction, along with state and local government spending going down. And then other economic news, we saw inflation is heating up. We saw that with the personal consumption expenditure, the PCE, came in at 0.2% for April 2014. The PCE is the Fed's favorite measure of inflation, and year over year was up 1.6%. This is the highest reading in over a year and a half for inflation. Inflation, though, is still at low levels, but what's concerning is the rate of change. The rate of change has just picked up, and if this pace keeps up, we'll be at the Fed's target rate sooner rather than later, and that would be bad news for mortgage rates because as inflation heats up, the Feds will have to raise the Fed funds rate. That'll kick bond prices lower, mortgage rates higher. So we'll have to keep a watch on that inflation numbers. And then Thursday, we saw the release of weekly initial jobless claims. They actually dropped to 300,000 claims. It's a drop of 27,000 claims from the previous week. So that was definitely a good report, and that was a rebound from the trends moving higher. So if this can hold, that would be good news for the labor market. Then in the housing news, CoreLogic reported that the foreclosure inventory is down 35% from a year ago, and only 4.5% of mortgages are now seriously delinquent. That's for the first time in 6 years. So that's great news on foreclosures and delinquencies. And then pending home sales index for April 2014 was up 0.4% from March at 97.8. Now on that scale, reading of 100 corresponds to the average level of contract activity in 2011, which is historically healthy home buying traffic according to NAR. So we're almost back to historically healthy levels for home buying traffic. That's definitely good news on the housing front. And then the Case-Shiller Home Price Index for March 2014 was released last week, came in at 12.4% year over year from March 2013 to March 2014. Now, of that 20-city index, only one city, New York, showed a decline in home price values. So appreciation is slowing, but the housing market is still very strong, as we can see from this report. And now, in the local news, the next free first-time homebuyer seminar is in Clinton, Maryland. That's this Saturday, June 7th from 10 a.m. to noon. And then the next one in Towson, Maryland is Saturday, June 28th. That's at the Baltimore Sheraton North Hotel. And you can register for either one of those events. We give us a call at 410-412-3319 or online, www.marylandhomebuyerseminars.com. Look forward to seeing you guys next week.